Hello, everybody. Okay, we are live. Good. So, not only are we streaming now, I'm just gonna be having some gameplay in the background, mainly because, this video isn't what I wanted it to be. I usually just wanted to have a, chill, relaxed stream. And, while normally that would be the situation, I did notice a couple things pop into my feed while I was at school today. Mainly involving the D-ranking issue with DBD, like the people D-pipping on purpose to get easier games. I wanted to address that, and because I am a member of the community, no matter how small or big, if there are people watching me, then I'm going to give my input on what is happening. So, mainly, what this whole issue is stemmed from is that recently a number of players, mainly big figures in the community, Tide Time and Jen Denise most notably, have been making some back and forth banter about people D-ranking on purpose so they can get easier games, and whether that was moral or not. I think that was the argument. And several times I'm going to be looking at other sources such as Twitter and the podcast itself. I did go through it. I listened to everyone's segments on the podcast from what I could, polyester, and I went through Twitter and checked all that. So, okay, let's get into it. So, we all start with rank. Now, rank, I've said, is one of the bigger issues in DBD. Gens and, some perks being overpowered, more overpowered than others is another, but those are topics for another day. Ranking it's pretty simple. You win games, or you do a certain amount of objectives, or do something, and you will get a emblem status, and that emblem status goes towards your rank. Now, your rank as a player decides what skill level of players you get, or generally that is the idea. However, Dead by Daylight does not do a wonderful job at putting you in the skill level of that rank, in my opinion at least. Well, we'll get into that a little later. So anyway, the issue stems from the system of pipping, which is whenever you get a lot of good emblem statuses, then you get a pip. That is how ranking works. And people have been abusing the system of D-pipping, which is when you generally don't do anything in a game, just to get a lower rank and get easier killers. So now, I think the issue stems from... Or no, that was what the issue stems from, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place, sorry, I'm trying to focus on two things at once. So... generally, people doing this are D-pipping on purpose, D-ranking, etc. They are D-ranking on purpose to get easier killers in games. Now, 9 times out of 10, you'll see that in the content creator stream. Usual, you would think, but, whatever. They gotta get their content somehow, I get it. So, when regular players start doing this, and hell, even the content creators... even the content creators that do this, when they do it, it discourages or makes other people's days living hell, because when you try and D-pip, then other people just have less of a fun time. For example, like one of the ways you D-pip is by not doing anything for the entire game and just, getting your points by running around the killer, and then just die at the end without contributing anything to the team at all. Now, that is the main way. There are several others, however, if I spent all the time going through them, I would be here for a while. So, when people do this kind of thing, they purposefully... Sorry. When they they abuse the system of depipping by not doing anything or contributing to their team, while still getting points by being chased by the killer most of the game. And this causes them to A, derank, but also B, it causes them to still get points. So this encourages this system of depipping. Because, you know, if I could still get points and get placed with lower skilled players, then that's something that I should do, right? And I feel like people are... God, it's hard to give an opinion on this without offending so many people. But I'm trying to think of a constructive way to word this. When... Okay. I feel if you're a higher, like, placed member of the community, that it should be a bit of a taboo practice, you know? Something that is frowned upon. At least I frown upon it a little bit, even though I tried to do it a while back. Because when people derank, not only does it make some killer and survivor games unfun, but it also makes you as a higher skilled player get placed with very lower skilled players. That is a bit of an issue, because if higher skilled players are not being matched with higher skilled players, then the lower skilled players are going to have a bad experience, which, when less skilled players have a bad experience in this game, then they won't want to play it, which brings less revenue to DVD, and the list of problems goes on. So, in my opinion, my take on this is that depipping on purpose is something that shouldn't be regularly practiced by highly looked upon members of the community. Noob3, Monzo, Tide Time, True Talent, Gen Denise, etc., 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 etc. Because if this becomes a regular practice for everyone in the community, then it shuns new players that just want to, like, get introduced in the game and still don't know what they're doing too much. So when they're getting put against higher skilled players because they depipped on purpose, then that is just a bad consensus in general. Like, honestly, when this shit happens and new players get pushed further and further and further from the community, then this game, it's not very popular at the moment as it is, right? Like, it's got a fan base. It's a pretty big one at that, I'll admit. But it doesn't have, like, as big a fan base as, say, Rainbow Six Siege, where they can afford to lose a couple of newbies because they are not used to what's happening in the game. So, when Dead by Daylight loses new players, it just hurts the game so significantly. And I feel like that just can't go. Like, I want everyone in this game to have a good time, even though I piss and moan and complain, like, all the time in my games and my streams and yada yada. I feel I want everyone to have a good time in this game, and I critique this game because I love this game. I love the premise. I love some of the gameplay even. Like, not everything in this game is fucking terrible. I love the satisfaction of getting someone over a window or a pallet. It's just so, that feeling of, like, amaze. Like, holy shit, it's finally over. They just got slapped down when they thought they were safe. It was good. It feels good. Or the feeling of, like, just barely escaping a killer's grasp because they missed a swing and they, like, lunged way too early. And it's, like, just missed you and you just barely escaped. That feels good. I love that gameplay sense that comes from this. And I only get this experience from Dead by Daylight. Like, I played Friday the 13th, and, you know, I really didn't have fun with it. Jason and Counselor, mainly because you don't get Counselor too often, because... Or you don't get Jason too often, because, you know, Jason is something that should be... It's basically a coin toss between all the players in that game. But when you do get... When you do get to play as Jason in Friday the 13th, it's fun as fuck. When you get to play as Killer and Survivor in this game, it's just fun. It is. I love the premise. I love this game. I love some of the gameplay. And it sucks when, you know, this game is plagued with issues. Like, so many issues. And I know that it's not gonna be a perfect game, like, ever. But I want it to be a good game. I want it to be a great game, in fact. So, it's a good game now, yes. Very good game, in fact. However, it is plagued by issues. And that is very clearly seen for right now, in fact. This is the main Survivor defense mechanism. Like, survivors don't have much else to defend other than pallet looping. You know? These killers are still kind of underpowered, you know, because gens are done too fast, certain perks make it easier to do gens, and it's overall just, you know, some of these perks like this, that, that's fine, actually. Yeah, it's alright. That, all those perks, toolboxes, insta-heals, like a very fast medkit, those are all things that are in favor against my faster, uninvisible, and couple of perks for, you know, shit like blood points, insta-down, which never was really used. That was used heavily, you know, I rely on that. And that, the most powerful perk in the game, is the one that slows gen progress, and it's a Hex Totem, which, if you don't know, can be destroyed very, very easily. But this game that is plagued with issues and bugs and toxic community members, I want it to succeed. I want it to thrive. I want people to have fun with this game because I have fun with this game. And if everyone can play and enjoy this game like I do, that would be wonderful. But I know that not everyone is going to have the senses of this game that I do. They're not going to just ignore and be able to brunt and take all of the bullshit that this game throws at you, because not everyone's the same. And hell, not everyone's gonna even touch this game because, you know, they don't like survival horror. They like more action or shooter. I get it. But the people who do look at this game and go, huh, that seems interesting, I'm gonna pick it up. I don't want them to be shunned by a shitty ranking system and community members who, like big figures in the community, encouraging this shitty ranking system to be abused. Like, I hate it when I see community members derank purposefully just to get easier games, because that is discouraging newer players, and the less newer players, the less player base for this game, the less player base for this game, the less revenue and traction it's going to get, and the less traction and revenue it's going to get, even less players will play the game. And so, this is the issue with Dead by Daylight, the ranking system. This is the whole deep hip system controversy in a nutshell. Do not, this is my stance on it, do not do this. It is a very bad thing to do. Now, I might be a hypocrite for saying that because I have done it in the past, But I've learned, believe me. That was like when I was still kind of in this game. I was like, do I really want to dedicate my soul to this? Do I really want to dedicate my blood, sweat, and tears? And I do. I do. Depipping is not okay. That's my stance on it. I don't care. Easier games aren't gonna come. Every game isn't gonna be a piece of cake. I get it. But sometimes, and especially for these community figures, you're gonna have to deal with that. You're gonna have to set an example for those newer players that are coming in. Because when those new players come in and they're not shunned by that shitty ranking system, you know who they're gonna look to like help them get on their feet a little more with this game? They're gonna look to the popular streamers and content creators of this game. Oh shit. Hold up, sorry. An earthquake's happening. They can sense my anger. Anyway, they're gonna look to the major content creators and streamers of this game. True Talent, Marth88, Tide Time, Noob3, Monto, Jen Denise, Katie Chips, Egg Rolls, all of them. Crunchy Egg Rolls, sorry. Jeef, Polyester, all of those people who will help them get on their feet. They'll help them learn like the terms of the game and like the player base, how that works, and killer powers, and like what add-ons should I use for killers and what add-ons should I generally avoid. Like they're gonna look to content creators, and that's what got me started on this. Is like I wanted to be one of those people who helps other people get on their feet. I want to help people be able to enjoy this game more. I want to like give them an insight that they maybe didn't think of before. Like maybe try this perk out, that might suit your playstyle better. Or maybe go with this strategy instead of this one that you seem not to be working out. Like I want to be able to guide people in a more efficient way, and I can do that if I gain more traction, which probably isn't going to happen for another 2-3 years. But point is, when community members, when major community figures do very unencouraging things to the newer community basis, that will affect that newer community, or that will affect that newer player base. And you know, it's bad to see when community members like, you know, High Time and Jen Denise, when they encourage this ranking system to be abused and to shun newer players. I'm not sure, that's probably not their intent, and, you know, I'm probably not gonna cover all that I wanted to cover. There are probably gonna be some points that I missed. Leave something in the comments that you think I missed. But I want the major community figures to wisen up and set a more mature example for the newer community play, because they're gonna look to you when they don't know what to fucking do in this game. They don't know what to use and what not to use, and like what works better and what doesn't work better, and when they just want to be overall entertained. Like, please don't abuse the system just so you can get easier games. That isn't like. Yeah, and if you have more insight on this, please let me know. I would love to hear it, and I would love to like. I'd love to talk about this more, because the more we talk about this, the more that it's going to be addressed. And the devs, I'm sure the devs have fucking seen all of this shit going on, because most of the major community members, like, I'm pretty sure about like not 75% of them have been talking about this, and the devs probably have caught wind of it by now. So something probably will be done to address this. Dedicated servers are still coming, so I don't know how that'll fix shit. But yeah. I'll leave it at that for now. There'll be another stream a little later on. You know, just be some gameplay and fun talks, you know, some of that shit. So, I'll see you then. But for now, if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. Like I said, put your opinions in the comments below. I'd love to argue, or not argue. I wouldn't want to argue. but I'd love to talk about it in the comments. That's what I'm saying. So, go ahead and do that. Share it with anybody you might think this would apply to. Hey, if this gets to a major community member, hey, how you doing? But, like, hit me up in the comments. Fuck, dude. I would love to speak with some major community members about this because, you know, I'd like to give some of my insights. But, you know, that's just me. I've been Literal Cancer. This has been Dead by Daylight. You've been lovely audience sitting in the back, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day.